I would like to welcome Ihor Kendiukhov. Ihor, welcome. So Ihor is the head of algorithmic analytics at Deep Knowledge Analytics, and he will speak about algorithms and big data used in biotech investment analytics. Ihor, welcome. You have approximately 10 minutes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Kate, for this introduction. Indeed, I will be talking about algorithms and data for biotech investment analytics from the COVID-19 standpoint. But before diving into the investment analytics itself, let's make a brief recap of the AI applications in pharma and vaccine development in general. Andrea has provided us already with various examples of these applications and tools that are used on all levels of the war against COVID-19. So the first question is, why in general is it useful to apply AI tools in the industry, and what tools are exactly applied? Basically, what the pharma industry faces now and what it faced during the pandemic, it is the lack of advanced technologies that limit the drug development process, which is reflected in decline in efficiency of pharma R&D. And AI algorithms are one of the solutions to circumvent this problem, because basically what AI algorithms in this sense do, they extract complex hidden nonlinear connections from large data sets, and the value and the utility of these algorithms is in the fact that their capabilities are growing with the data sets, with the volume of the data sets, and more conventional tools such as regressions or simple machine learning are stopping their development after some dataset volume threshold is reached. In general, through application, we automate the process of knowledge generation, and in many cases in pharma industry and in vaccine development, the proficiency of these algorithms has already been higher than the efficiency of human researchers. Well, what are these methods? Basically, almost every type of neural network, every type of artificial intelligence algorithms, is already applied in the industry, and starting from simple neural networks, which can be used for example, biomarker development or drug repurposing, and finishing with such advanced tools as generative adversarial networks that are applied for novel molecular generation. And indeed, we have many user cases, many cases when this was applied for the fight against coronavirus, and hundreds of startups have already applied AI tools to deal with the pandemic on all levels, as Andrea already has mentioned. But in this presentation, we shall focus on the first level, that is on the molecular level and on the therapeutic level. And because what we are doing in terms of investment analytics, we are analyzing AI startups that are dealing with molecules, drug discovery, drug repurposing, analysis of various molecule types, classification, and so on. And these tools that we have developed for the whole industry can be applied for the analysis of coronavirus startups as well. And generally, it is a process that facilitates itself, because boom of COVID startups has also facilitated AI and pharma industry growth in general. And basically it facilitated interest towards pharmaceutical AI technologies and improved investment climate in the industry in general. So on the left graph, you can see private investments volume, which grew in the crisis year in 2020, despite all negative events in other industries. And even more impressive, the graph which demonstrates the growth of market capitalization of the AI pharma sector, which outperforms enormously, not only general market indices such as S&P, but also specific thematic biotech and pharma indices such as IBB and NBI indices. And more about this you can see in our investment digest. The links are provided below, where we reflect and analyze the impact of the COVID pandemic on the whole industry in the previous year and in 2021 as well. In order to deal with this boom, which was facilitated by the pandemic, we have developed big data analytics dashboards. In this particular case, it is Deep Pharma Intelligence Big Data Analytics dashboard, which covers almost all entities present in the industry, almost 300 companies, and many of them have also participated in the fight against COVID-19. We have here more than 700 investors, and altogether we have collected in the industry more than 200,000 data points. And this dashboard covers and includes industry database, industry growth dynamics charts, our analytics both in the form of open access and proprietary reports, as well as interactive mind maps reflecting the connections in the industry. This is a beta version available online, and very soon we'll launch it's as a commercial product available by subscription. And our recent prototype is a dashboard dedicated specifically to the publicly traded pharma companies, which, as I have already mentioned, demonstrate very, very enormous growth. And this list includes by now 14 companies, and we have constructed several options of portfolios tracking financials and market capitalization of these companies, which is also available online. And further, we have applied this approach for the analysis of longevity industry as well, which includes much more entities, namely 20,000 startups. And the good news are here that we can apply artificial intelligence not only to advance AI in pharma R&D or longevity R&D, but also to advance the investment analytics of the industries itself. Because when we have such large amounts of data points, literally millions of data points, we can apply various AI tools to extract value from them. And that's basically what we are going to do and what we're doing in terms of the analysis of COVID-19 startups and in terms of analysis of biotech startups in general. This the most common and the most developed tool in this sense is our multiparametric SWOT analysis system, which allows us to analyze 12 vectors or 12 aspects of business development of each AI and pharma company. And basically every every vector is a mathematical equation which combines several dozens of data points into single value, single scalar, which reflects some aspect of business development. And and then we get algorithm, we get visualization which demonstrates the strengths and the weaknesses of each company. And these prototypes are also available online. They're not black box systems, and you can review them on our dashboard as well. Another tool we have developed is competitor matching, which is basically a tool that allows us to calculate the distance between companies. Sorry. The distance between companies in terms of their business development. And it allows us to see the closest competitors and to see the companies that are similar in terms of their R&D, in terms of their team structure, in terms of their finance, and so on. And another tool is interactive network diagrams, which also Andrew has already presented. It allows us to see a company or investor in the context of the existing industry infrastructure. This was done initially for the pharma startups, but currently it can be applied for the analysis of the COVID-19 industry and ecosystem. And it can be applied to track collaborations, partnerships, funding rounds, and scientific operations in the industry, and see what is the place of each company in the ecosystem. Almost all technologies we apply for this in general are listed here. We can divide them by application in 4 categories. They include SWOT analysis, data aggregation, forecasting, and clusterization, and competitor analysis. Basically, and AI or advanced machine learning tools are applied mostly for forecasting and clusterization competitor analysis, whereas for SWOT analysis, we apply just more or less simple math, I mean, deterministic formulas with some elementary mathematical transformations. But already for data aggregation, for data extrapolation, we apply deep neural networks, and for forecasting, already recurrent neural networks or neural networks with LSTM layers are applied. Also, a huge area of application is unsupervised machine learning, which can be used for the clusterization. And the point here is to train these algorithms on large data sets, for example, data sets of the whole pharma industry, and then apply them for the analysis of specific COVID startups. And last but not least is stock market analytics. I have already mentioned that the growth of public sector and pharma in the previous year was enormous, and it was measured by hundreds of %. And in this sense, it is crucial to focus on the financials of publicly traded corporations and to track the impact of the COVID pandemic on them. And in terms of this impact, we apply stock market simulations, which enable us to test various scenarios of the development of the pandemics, and to track not only direct effects such as market crashes, but also second order effects such as indirect impact of the COVID startup boom on the development of the whole AI pharma industry. And it turns out that this impact exists indeed. And also, what is crucial here to do is to combine financial analytics with technological evaluation. I mean, what we have done in automated SWOT analysis system, and the results and stock market portfolios are also available online by the link below. With that, I would like to finish my presentation. Thank you for attention, and see you in the discussion section.
Yes. Well, thank you, Igor, very much for this helpful information.